Hey guys, it's about time that I finally fully introduced you to the character that you see here. Maybe some of you who have seen me on other social media platforms or mainly Amino, that's practically the only place where I talk about this character. I mean, a small amount on fanfiction.net as well, but as you can see, this is practically my avatar, my profile picture for almost everything. So, who is he exactly? And why does he look that way? Well, let me tell you right now. When I first created him in 2011, his name was Takeda, and that was the only name I had for him. And surprisingly, it's been almost 10 years since then, but in 2012, I renamed him to Kyata. Now, I know I'm trying to make him a Japanese boy, but I know Kyata is not a real name. So, I mean, I just thought of what would be the most Japanese sounding, and eventually that stuck. And it went under two different spelling alterations. Alternate spelling variations, I think that's a better way to put it. I put the official one in the description below. And I actually went through two different last names as well. First one being Gesundheit, but apparently someone says that's German for bless you. That's Gesundheit, in case you were wondering, to whoever said that. But anyway, the last name that ruled out was Tetsuyami, so his full name is Kyata Tetsuyami. And why was he given that design? Well, I was actually inspired by Naruto without even knowing it. I mean, yeah, those fox whiskers on the cheeks are a dead giveaway as for the inspiration, but I have removed them for a very long time. They're not official, and it was too late for me to go back. It already looked too good to be true for his facial design. So, yeah, Naruto was the main inspiration for him. I didn't know that. How? Well, I was watching the Naruto spoof on the Cartoon Network show Mad. In case any of you are familiar with Mad Magazine, you know, the TV show adaptation was there, and it made plenty of goofs and spoofs of beloved franchises. Well, beloved or not, they were there. And, you know, seeing how they mocked Naruto. I did not know the franchise at first, remember. Seeing how they mocked him made a comedic version of him. Now, Naruto already has its funny moments here and there, but for this right here, seeing someone that looked and almost acted completely different from the Naruto Uzumaki that we know. I mean, fox whiskers changed to cat whiskers. The dream of becoming Hokage changed to the dream of becoming prom king. Oh my gosh, it was funny. And that gave me the inspiration to create what was at first fleshed out to be a lonesome, clumsy boy who was nervous on his first date. A lot of different story ideas came out of my head, and I didn't write anything official for him until Supersonic Squad. If you're not familiar with that one, Subsonic Squad, it was my Mario Sonic crossover series, and I did put him in a couple episodes on fanfiction.net, and it was near the end of the series entirely before I completely stopped it and began focusing on PlayStation All-Stars full time. And I don't know if I should call that official or not, because I had a lot of these different ideas for him. Like, what if he was a character in a Naruto story, and I made a draft of a script for a project called The Missing Ninja, where he was part of the Ninja Academy who was missing between the events of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, and he returns after the events of, like, the end of the Shippuden era. But apparently that audio play failed in the end. The script was ready, yet the voice acting tryouts were awful. Like, either they didn't sound very faithful, or they said they'd send me some tryouts or some files, but they never kept their word. And we all know how many times that has happened to me. The only person who remained faithful was the voice for Ino Yamanaka, and later I rehired her to play the voice of Sonya Blade in White Wolf Part 2, the PSAS series. So, yeah, that failed. And if you want to see the script for yourself, see how well it would have been, what would have been, you can also see that in the description below. It'll lead a link to my website. And right now, what am I using Kyata for? Well, I'm using him currently for a roleplay chat at the Kingdom Hearts Amino. So, practically, Kyata is hybrid. He's become a hybrid character for a lot of different things. However, that doesn't mean I am not thinking of anything more original for him. I did think of some ideas for an original franchise called Princely Power. I don't have anything ready for him. I don't know if I ever will. Like, due to a depression and a huge lack of motivation, I've only been able to write some summaries and a synopsis for the story. How his parents were the Emperor and Empress of Tokyo, who were killed by a power-hungry advisor. So he ended up growing up as an orphan, not knowing who his parents were, or even his siblings. You know, him having an older sister who took care of him without even revealing that they were related. Also, they had a younger brother who was hidden from them. You know, it was a lot of fun coming up with different ideas for that. And what about his design? Well, I mean, going through all these different types of designs. Yes, he is a blondie. Yes, he does have blue eyes. I mean, there was one particular area where I gave him green eyes instead, but officially he has blue eyes. He doesn't have whiskers. All right? Although, at some point, I did imagine him having a beard, all grown up. In fact, like, I'm going back and forth between the younger, nervous, shy Kyata and the older teen, tough as nails Kyata, where he's still easygoing and a bit carefree, but when a situation arises, that's when he gets serious. That's when he's like, all right, enough games. Let's settle this. And as you do see him, he does have a green hoodie. I originally gave him a yellow jacket, but looking back, it seemed too similar to the Mad version of Naruto, or the classic younger Naruto Uzumaki as a whole. So I gave him a green hoodie, and I went through these different shirt colors as to what he has underneath. Maybe a yellow shirt, or a light green shirt. For pants, it changes every time. But he does have some sweet tennis shoes. Does he have any powers? Well, I didn't give him any at first. Like, sometimes his weapon is that of a ninja sword that his father once had, and he believed it was rightfully passed on to him after his father died, and he's been keeping it since. But for any powers he has firepower. Like, he can willfully summon fire in his hands, throw them as fireballs, or like blowtorch, or just to scorch anyone he punches. In fact, like, he can intensify it to, like, double the wallop, double or triple the wallop, and he can even, like, just, like, blow a whole door down with one punch. I mean, does that kind of remind you of Liu Kang? Well, maybe. That was before I even played Mortal Kombat regularly in order to know more about Liu Kang. So I guess you do see some similarities there. What about his personality? Well, I mean, I did already tell you about some of it. But is he good at picking up the ladies? Well, he doesn't pay attention to the ladies, all right? He pays no attention to them. I mean, he gives his sister his full attention because she's family, and he wants to spend some family time with them. You know, even though he's of royal blood, even though he and his siblings are of royal blood, he would love to just take some time off of work, spend some time with his siblings, go out, hang out, do some fun stuff and all that, or just, you know, have lively conversations at the dinner table. But for anything romantic, you know, he never thought that he would actually have time for love. He's like, you know, I've got too much on my hands. I don't think it would be the best for me. I mean, even some, you know, pretty good-looking girls who try to pull the moves on him, you know, show him what they've got, he's like, thanks, but no thanks. Alright? I'm my own man. Next time, you think twice before you try to twerk with me again. But sometime down the road, he meets an Irish girl. Yeah, it's strange how a Japanese boy meets an Irish girl. But it just proves that love can spread all around the world. No matter where you're from, as long as you've got the heart, it would work out. In fact, like, heck, I've been friends with a Cuban American girl. We're not in a relationship. We're out of state. We both agreed that it wouldn't work out. And we've been friends for like 5 years now, calling each other, texting each other. Because, you know, we both share that never-ending faith in Christ. So that proves that love can be for everyone around the world, as long as you use it wisely. And, you know, nervously, the two characters meet, and later they end up falling in love. So that's practically all you need to know about Kyata. It's strange how I'm trying to come up with these different ways to pronounce his name, say his accent. Kyata. Kyata is the one that's spoken the most. And I feel rather proud of creating him, even though there is nothing officially, there's like no official media that stars him as a character, even though I've gone through a lot of drafts, a lot of different ideas. You know, maybe with my luck, I'd be able to sell an idea to, like, Viz Media, something like that. See if Shonen Jump has any room for him. But no matter what, I always felt like he was my best creation. I always felt like a father to him. Or maybe I felt like I am him in some way. It's kind of spooky, though. Like, some of his personality is adapted from me. Or adopted, I think that's the right word to use. I've grown so close to him. And even I have admittedly used the phrase, I'm him, or I am he, and he is me. We're both pretty much alike. I'm him, and I am also his father. Imagine if Kyata says, my father and I are one. Well, I mean, that's not his fictional father, though his fictional father is something else. I'm his creative father. I mean, is it similar to the connection of God the Father and Jesus Christ? More or less. I don't know. Depends on how you see it. Or depends on how the real world works. I'm just proud of bringing him in every possible possibility. I shouldn't have put those two words together. It sounds so weird. Every possibility. There is always a chance for me to use him. And there were times when I thought these other crazy ideas like, what if he has a Norse accent? It would make him sound more manly when he's an adult. I mean, yeah, I hope the beard idea comes through when he's an adult. But I also did think of an idea, what if he is a devout follower of Christ? What if he's read the Bible and prayed? That would have been fun. It's crazy. When you create someone, you've got an endless line of possibilities coming your way, and then creativity will just never end. Whew. Well, I think I said a whole lot. Alright? What about his siblings? Well, I don't know if I'd be able to go back to Rinmaru games and design them, or use a creator app or whatever. No matter what, I'll cross that bridge when I'll get to it, okay? Thank you all for dropping by and listening to me ramble about my favorite original character. If you really do appreciate him so much, let me know, alright? And I will come back to you guys whenever I can. Alright? Thanks.